Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Listen, it's Mondays, and I'm going to cover all the topics that I thought was interesting last week, right now. So you don't want to miss this because it might be the nugget or a tool that you could put in your tool chest or toolbox to really get more understanding with your finances. I know I have an innate way to look at finances, and that a lot of people don't. So I want to really share that with you so you can win. And God willing, come out here and be my neighbor and or do better than me and just take that ball and run with it. So listen, the first story I saw that I thought was real interesting was the IRS has a direct filing program opens for business. Like, so now the IRS has started a direct filing program. Like, you can really in these, it's like, I think they opened it for 12 states where you can file your taxes directly with the IRS. So I think it's something you got to really look into because it got to be available to your state. But it says for the first time, taxpayers will be able to file directly with the IRS online. So you can do your taxes directly with the IRS. They're trying it out in 12 states. So you can like do some information and research on it to see if you are part of one of those 12 states that could benefit from something like that. I think that's huge, that you don't have to go to TurboTax and H&R Block. I think H&R Block actually had a big lawsuit where they had to pay people back because of they had to pay because they were saying it was free. Their service was free, and it really wasn't. It wasn't free. It was false advertising that H&R Block was doing. And I think even TurboTax had to do that. They had to reevaluate how they put out the message that you could file for free. See, it wasn't for free. So now the IRS want to get in the game of filing online, which is, I think, is a great thing. So moving on. Y'all know this is the big one right here. So on last Wednesday, the House passed the TikTok ban, right? So it passed by an overwhelming majority. Now that's crazy because TikTok is owned by ByteDance. The CEO, I believe, is a citizen of Singapore. He has an American wife, and there's a lot of distrust from the government for him, right? ByteDance is a Chinese based, I think it's publicly traded and it's based out of China. So with the China and US tension, they're arguing, how can we let a big company, Chinese company, be so prevalent here in America? And he was up on Capitol Hill arguing, fighting for his life, I believe, with the senators, really trying to explain like, hey man, I'm just trying to create a business and just, give people an opportunity. There's a lot of controversy with that because people make a lot of money selling their products on TikTok. Is the latest thing. But I told people in the middle of the week that I believe this is going to be beneficial for the Metas, which is formerly known as Facebook, of the world, because even Snapchat might make a resurgence. Because they're trying to almost eliminate any company that's not American. But here's the caveat: if Trump becomes president, now he doesn't like Mark Zuckerberg. Remember, they banned him on Facebook during the end of his presidency. So I don't know, that might, there's a lot of moving factors there, but just know under Biden and with TikTok going, Meta stock is gonna go crazy. I'm just telling you straight up. But if that don't happen, then don't take none of that as solid. But under Biden, TikTok removed from the playing field of America. Like, you literally can't download it unless you try to do some VPN sneak stuff. Yeah, Meta gonna go crazy. Their revenue gonna go up. They're gonna win. So I think that's very it's something that really pay attention to for sure. And I really want to talk about one last thing that was big this week. They was talking about the 6% commission for buying a home. The transaction fee is no more. Now this was very this was something because you got to realize that you pay. I'm a 2-time home buyer, so I've bought 2 different homes during my lifetime so far. And when you sell your home, you have to pay the realtor. Where they usually 6%, it's always been the standard. But if you have a conventional loan and if you have good credit, it's always negotiable, right? So I was able to lock mine in for 4%. But they really never want to go under that because they'll tell you we have to share this with the buying agent. So and the buying agent, they will redirect a lot of their customers based on the fact of how much they can make on a deal. So sometimes there's a great house out there, but maybe the commission is too low for that realtor. So they won't even tell the people that's looking for the home or encourage the buying of that home. Let's just say, if you're not savvy enough to move around your realtor, sometimes you just solely relying on a realtor. They won't even say push that house too much because they're looking at how much they're going to make. So now they want to take away all that. It got to be 6% stuff. And there's even a further argument that's going on from the people that's bringing in the lawsuit saying, well, how come the buying agent, why they don't get stuck with paying half of it, whatever the number might be? Why the sellers gotta pay everything just because we are supposedly going to come out with money when we sell this home? It's not all the time you make money when you sell your home. Sometimes the market took a reversal, but you gotta go. It's time for retirement. You gotta leave this house, and your house is going for less. So you really make out bad. So people, they arguing why the buying agent, the buyers, why can't they pay their agent the whatever that might be? So I think that's a good idea too. Obviously, it's kind of deterrent too. If you want to buy a home and you gotta worry about 2% being tacked on, it is kind of a deterring thing. But a lot of people, when they're selling a home, knowing that they're gonna have to pay this agent, they do tack on a little more on the house because they realize, hey, I gotta pay this agent. My house going for $420,000. I gotta pay the agent, 4%. That might be like 24,000 or so, roughly, somewhere in the 20,000 range. So, you're gonna beef it up so maybe you can make something off the selling of your home too, So it's a big game being played out there, and I love the fact that this 6% thing can't be etched in stone no more because people will drive away customers based on the fact of how much they can make on a deal, or they won't take you as a customer based on how much they might, if you're giving them a hard time about 6%, they might not even take you on as a client. These things got to stop. So that's the things I saw this week, y'all. If you want to know anything else, hit me up in the comments, the DMs, and I can break it down in the way I see it and what I think to make it like chewable for you to understand and not so difficult like to understand in the way where you might see on TV and that they're talking about it and you're talking to academia, people are talking and not realizing that the everyday person didn't go to Harvard Business School, so we don't understand what y'all talking about. Hey, it's Papa Benyarko, always financial coach, minister of finance, chief investor. Let's win.